Hello everyone, welcome back. I left for like a minute to stretch and I've already forgotten everything we've already done. We're knocking down the glass thing, I think. It's just a big spoder. It's not a relevant spoder, it's just a spoder. That's what we need. There's a place called Palantinate with flag. At least the yellow part. Well, it reminded me of Pallid a little bit. Or Pallor. That was just a standard component, it turns out. Just gotta get up there and get the last one. Easy, as intended. You would have guessed a desaturated blue. I see. That does also really fit the word. I was honestly also between the last two. I'm not a purple expert, though, despite the hair. Which, you know, I always thought was purple. I've had many people refer to me as a pink mouse. Which I'm not mad about, but it wasn't intended. Oh god. Actually, maybe that's good. It's giving very true lab vibes. It's somewhere in the middle. Especially with, like, some of the monitor reflections that go on. I could see gaining a bit of a pink hue. Skin's pink, definitely. Let's see, where are we now? What's that sound? Oh, did you hear something? I'm guessing this is leading into a pit, but if you did hear something, I had to cough. I thought I muted the mic, but I might have missed. My lord, you're not far from the last soul I gone. Oh, it's just Mark. He's carving something again. Wait, Mark's picking up an art? That's great news. He's been so frustrated without a way to deeply express himself, right? She's the final hurdle in the way of you obtaining all the soul seals. This last encounter is filled with unknown variables, so make sure you're fully prepared. I also suggest tying up any unfinished business to minimize any risk later down the road. Gotcha. He makes happy little totems. They kind of look like frogs. The YouTube frogs, were they all Mark? He's really entering his cottagecore era. Oh, I dream of being able to one day enter the cottagecore era for myself. Ah, come on. I have to go back and teleport via root node. Millennial retirement is gonna be so lame. It's like, please, we just want to rest. We're going to make communal cottages for us all to live in. Honestly, the apartment I had back in Ohio kind of felt like a shared cottage situation sometimes. It was like an old converted residence. It was a house split up into 4 one-room apartments. They were big though. The whole cottage will love Mark's frogs, absolutely. But you know, it had a shared back patio that was... We were on the 2nd floor, but we were built into a hill, so we had our own patio out into like a little wooded area. It was really nice. And we shared that with the upstairs neighbor. What wasn't nice is I was living in that one-room apartment with my platonic workmate. You like living with either a lot of people or very few? I definitely lean towards the very few myself. But I've had limited experience. Right, by the way, I believe that was very, I believe that was a barely coded message telling me to go and do all of the side stuff before I move on. We're not going to be finishing the game today if we can avoid it. Instead, we have a treasure hunt. The wealth of 9 kingdoms hid deep in Kunlun, tucked in a grotto upon the eastern shore. The Fusong cave painting points up to the skies. Keep flying, and you'll find treasure galore. Each has its perks, but Pew is probably preferable. Oh my goodness. Suri said he was going to make us a coffee, but it wasn't true. I can smell the truth. He brought me a mocha. It wasn't too bad with my roommate. It was definitely more interesting than if I'd been living alone. So this is the grotto. And that's a Fusang cave painting. I might have already found this by the way. I'm working hard. Don't call my chat work. That was way easier than I thought it was going to be, by the way. We found ourselves the treasure of the 9 kingdoms. You are a piece of work. I'll give you that. So the other thing we have left to do, we could actually just go for 100% completion, by the way. But there's the, directors or whatever, the advisors. We did 1 challenge, but there's 2 more to open up that door. Some people know what I'm talking about. Also, since we have money, I am interested in grabbing up the map chips. Yeah, this door. That's the door I'm talking about. But I think we still have to grab a map chip from the Panhai 1000. As far as I know, yes. I got an achievement for forming a deep bond with Xuan Xuan. He's so rude, he didn't give me a fruit. Can I have chip? To transfer image assets, it is recommended that you provide 400 physical units to obtain a copy. He's the lad, pat pat. I can't wait for Yi to just get to live out the rest of his days with his husband Kwafu and his pet Xuan Xuan. Well, certainly. Once you get your revenge, you're satisfied, right? And then you just get to live out the rest of your days in peace and happiness. He'll get to truly feel complete. He'll achieve oneness within the Tao, I think, through revenge. I mean, I'm far from an expert on religion, but it sounds right. I think I bought... Yeah, it tells me whether I have the chip given to my guy or not. So no chip from here yet. No chip from here yet. Yeah, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Remember, this is back where we found Kuafu. He was the first friend we ever made, and we killed everyone else. No robot. His robot isn't here. We've hit the random exploration phase of the Metroidvania. Good thing you got your tetanus shot? Oh, you... Oh! I see. I was trying to think of the... of how Rust came into play here. I forgot for a minute that real life exists. Are you okay? Wow, 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 what are you doing? What are we gonna do? You want my map data chip? I would love to give it to you, but I'll shut down if I remove it. Would you consider swapping it for Jin? I can make a copy for 400 Jin. Woohoo! Amount received. I will get you a copy of my map data chip at once. This is like the artist I just paid for a rough sheet. The power reservoir is very well organized due to the insistence of its administrator. All wires run in parallel and do not cross arbitrarily. That's how you do it. I forgot to read the description for the other one. It broke skin, but only barely. Okay, thank goodness. Like you said, good thing you got the tetanus shot. We gotta ban rusty nails. There's too many of them. I mean, hasn't anyone thought of the kids? Contractors must have dropped it when they repaired the balconies. Yeah, we had some people here to repair some hail damage, and they just kind of left things all over. Do you have time for one game before I leave? Of course I do. This could well be our last game. Huh? What did you say? Nothing. Let's start. Hey Yi, even though you haven't told me anything, I know. Know what? I overheard some of the stuff you guys were discussing. I know a lot of things are happening outside, and I know your people aren't doing that good. You don't need to know about those things. You say that all the time. Is because I'm not strong enough? Is that why you won't let me help? You're overthinking it. No one can help me out of this situation. I used to think I could turn things around, but the truth is I can't do anything. That doesn't really sound like the Yi I know. If only I had known it would be all in vain. I'm starting to envy those that stayed behind. Really? But if I never met you, I'd just be alone. If it weren't for me, you'd be living a much better life. Maybe, but I wouldn't want that. I'd be super bored without you, Yi. That kind of life would be meaningless to me. What makes something meaningful anyway? I can think of a whole lot off the top of my head, but you might not think much of them. Try me. I want to hear it from you. Like, remember that one day when the weather was perfect and we slept on the grass till the sun went down? Yeah? That was a really good nap. And that other time we had a huge fight over that stolen grilled fish? We didn't talk for 2 whole days after that. Yeah, I never understood why you got so angry over it. Oh, or that one night when I fell asleep while you were telling me a story. You just kept going till the morning because you didn't notice. But aren't those more like memories? I don't know if this is the right way to put it. But I think the meaning of life is pieced together by a mix of happy, angry, and even sad moments. Living life itself. Is that the meaning? It's taken me a while, but I think I'm finally starting to understand it. I think it should be felt, not understood. Like when playing Kian Kun. Huh? Am I going to win? You are. I already knew I wasn't going to win halfway through. Congratulations. Now you can find your next opponent. Oh way, I'm not playing to win. I just want to have fun with you, Yi. I'm not playing to win? I really do have a lot to learn. Hello. I mean, I could just buy this. But I might have chips to buy. Received. Beginning to parse map data. Have you thought of the issues that might arise if I take all the resources? That is none of my business. No wonder you are left here. If you're all the same model, why do you all talk so differently? You, Solarians, all talk the same? Is that a fair comparison? Go, ask people who made us. If I could, I wouldn't be asking you. We still need the warehouse. Oh, it's flashing because we just got the thing for it. What is that? Is that like a boss that I can fight? I assume? And the research center. Back to the boundless repository. Oops. So they're not showing up as a character, I take it. No, there they are. They're right by that root node, I think. I'm learning things. Eventually. I wish I had a pet like Xuan Xuan. That would help me when I'm having a difficult time. What are you doing? No! Losing chips is my greatest fear! I'll do anything. If you want my map data, I'll give you a copy for 400 Jin, please. Please have mercy. Yes. Thank you, thank you. I shall copy for you. Right away, please, let me go. New Kunlun's warehouse zone is located at its westernmost end. Visitors often get lost in the labyrinthine, boundless repository located within. And finally, the research center. Now, we didn't see a Shanghai here with our eyes, but maybe that's why it's not on the map. Ah, there's an uppy spot here. A lot of uppy spots here that I haven't gone into yet. That shall be my next destination. I keep thinking this thing is like Shenong, laying on a side. Hello? What is that behind you? Sorry, I didn't see what Yi said. Oh, did Yi basically say the same thing I said? Not Solarian business. Okay, don't worry, I wasn't looking. I was just curious whether you found what you were looking for. Shanghai 9000, looking for someone. Who? No, never mind, I shouldn't pry. Shanghai 9000, looking for a friend. A friend? What model? Solarian. You should look in the Enlightenment Sanctum if you're looking for Solarians. Friend, not in Enlightenment Sanctum. Friend, not sleeping. Oh, I'm sorry. If they haven't been sleeping, all you're going to find is a body. Doesn't matter. Almost found friend. Have a chip. Aren't you running the risk of getting assimilated by receiving all these chips from other robots? Enjoy sublime eternity amongst evergreen foothills. New Kunlun, the second home of your dreams. Forget it. You're not cut out for this. up and to the right is blocked, I remember. But we have plenty to the left. Cats might cause her quite a fright. Cheesy nibbles in the night. Nom nom wrigglers seeking friends. Still amazing when the stream ends. First Snow White from bottles made. Hair and tail a purple shade. When her stream ends, up comes your son. It must be Ali Bobalison. Oh my goodness, that is so sweet. And honestly, actually, it was... I don't know how to administer poem compliments. But the rhythm was delightful. I liked it a lot. Your meter, I can't say for sure whether it was iambic, but it was pleasant. We got some dark steel. Straight out Meridian. Mirrodin, sorry. I was a bad nerd for a second. Oh, I'm so... They can just drop stuff like that? Well, that one's name was Xiangyu. Before I knew it, I found myself far from home. The cramped cabin intensified my longing for the familiar street corners and the lively noodle shop nearby. Each step of this journey deepens my nostalgia for those simpler days. Right or wrong, it no longer holds significance. This cabin will be where I'll rest forever. Stray from a few traditional rhythms. But you have done poetry slams. Everything I know about poetry comes from, like, grade school. But I did enjoy the rhythm of your rhymes. This might not be accessible. You would have published him in your high school lit mag? That's high praise if you're not familiar. There aren't many who can say the same. I don't need to fight you, man. Dr. Bard would have nodded her head. That is extremely high praise. A doctor and a bard? Could you even imagine? I mean, there is a lot of stuff that we do today that would be very interesting to people 100 years or so back. A Lovecraftian one? Oh no. We're working through it. Honestly, at the pace we're going, we might actually finish this today. I'm unsure. Oh, how unfortunate. The main purpose of this research center was to find a cure for Tian Hao. The clinic in the Empyrean district also provided medical services to passengers in need. Oh wait, no, there's a thing right here. That poor guy tried to barricade himself away, and it didn't work. Honestly, I might get some more poison for Shenong. Not for the life upgrades, but just because he has the drinking stories when you feed him enough poison. I do remember picking up a broken assistive robot before takeoff. Shanghai 9000, not broken. Good as new. Only one goal, since rolling out of the factory. Before goal is complete, Shanghai 9000 won't go. Last map data for you. New Starfinder setting. Station Fortunate. What you can't find out there is unfortunate. The Grand Market Station connecting all the star-crossed commerce of the material plane. Very mandrakey plant. An angry little can. Roots and stems of this alpine plant resemble a person and is rich in toxic alkaloids. Single root can down a giant beast. I'll take it. Thunder centipede. Highly toxic insect, often found near water. Adventurous kids would often catch them and poison themselves by touching their mouths and noses. What an adventure that would be. Even space needs its own brass bazaar. Absolutely. I like the idea of a station that just keeps going deeper and deeper, and it, especially because, like in this one, it looks like they actually grabbed a chunk, like a continent, and flew off with it, is what I'm gathering in this game. But in Starfinder, you can grab chunks of planes. By planes of existence, by the way, if that wasn't clear. With the Witch Warper as, what do you call it? Precedent. You can have different sections of the station exist in different planes as well. How unafraid Paizo is to tear the fabric of reality. Oh, that's all Starfinder seems to be about, honestly. They love it. Does this look like a person to you, or am I just imagining things? Imagining things. This is the root of a medicinal herb. The roots tend to resemble arms, legs, and a torso. I just saw it blink. Are you sure it's not alive? There are stories about how they can walk, but they're just folktales. It just moved when I bit into it, I swear. It's in their nature. Pathfinder Society 1 was also like that. That's what I like about Paizo. They're unafraid. And then they're like, yeah, the fan base will be willing to deal with this. And they're right, it's the thing. Phew. Nothing beats drinking while sitting by the fireside. But that damn bee monster giving me so much trouble, I sure needed a break. What bee monster? Did you bump into the Phoenix guard outside? What? Is that not allowed? Watch yourself. We're surrounded by hazards on all sides. Just don't run out on your own. That's nonsense. I've been all over this damn place. I've even been with that filthy cave, the ugly murals. You can find a bunch of useless statues. Cave? Statues? You went out there all on your own? Don't you underestimate me. That was nothing. The remaster finally convinced your Saturday group to switch over. I have some bitter feelings about the remaster, but I don't blame them, given the situation at the time. I was already running a campaign when the remaster was announced and went forward. And, yeah, it caused some confusion on my end, because I didn't just go out and buy and read a whole new book when it was available. And one of my players was very keen on swapping over to it. But that has more to do with that player than Paizo, I suppose. Yeah, me too. But it's all the, you know, I'd already written... Well, I hadn't written. I had prepared the campaign for the pre-master. So all of my monster abilities that I'd already written out use the old rules. And then this guy's looking up, oh, what does that do? Oh, no, you're supposed to do a check when you grab. I'm like, no, you're not. It's right here. Didn't you read the rules? I'm like, But yeah, I'm a big fan of Archives of Nethys as well. These bugs were really commonplace where I grew up. We lived near the water and caused the deaths of a few careless kids every summer. Munch, munch. That's to be expected. Kids will drown no matter how shallow the water. It's not that. Not only are they highly poisonous. Munch, crunch. Oh, so numb. They can also release electric currents when in danger. It tastes sweet and sour, sticks a bit on the teeth. Not bad overall. If I were you, you would have just said too bad. That's basically what I ended up doing eventually. Granted, the remaster is definitely close enough that it didn't cause that much of a problem. You don't want to recycle these. Look at him! Okay. Murky water kin to oil. Rash disturbed by motor's coil. Lanterns light a distant flame in fog and shroud of inhumane. A silent song breaks through the mire, a tragic sound of ancient ire. The creaks of wooden home to few who seek the dark to find the truth. The song grows louder, sings its pain. From those who rise and throne they claim, a ship hand stouts, there sprung a leak. A dark night beckons endless sleep, while ship hands run and fix the leak. A mind far under stirs from sleep. As clouded eyes scan waters black, a sudden scare, the depth stares back. I like it. If monster art changed with every stat modification the DM made, your Camaro would make an ancient Greek scholar blush. I don't think I have enough. If I'm not willing to recycle the unique thingies, which I'm not. Also, claps for drummer. Yeah, the conclusion is really good. You've succeeded in an ominous mood. And a moment of shock and fear at the end. I'm considering where to go next. There is still technically some unfinished business to clean up. I completely forgot about the door. We gotta work on the door still. That thing is definitely necessary. Did something... Ow! For a second I thought it wasn't real. The difference between horror and terror... Yeah. By the... We're allowed to say R.L. Stine here. It's not a bad word. Get it. Yeah, it's because it thought it was a link. It interprets anything with letters and then period and then letters as a link and nixes the whole thing. Got ourselves an herb catalyst, by the way. Not this way. Big owl. Well, there must be something over there, right? So how badly do I want to clear out the rest of this? If it's just going to be some gin on the ground. I'll do this room. But then we're going to shift on over to the door. We got Swiftblade Shade. Increases triple slash attack speed, but inflicts some internal damage to Eve for every attack performed. You're melting. Meh. I have become the inhumane. Watch the shadows for the slight hint of a smile. For my new form will be there. Just in the corner of your eye. Gone when looked at, but never quite the void of presence. Observing. Blowing barely noticeable whispers and unknowable truths to the breeze that creeps in under the door. I see. You're attempting to compete with Isaac for the role of unknowable entity. The Void welcomes all. That's the best thing about the Void. It's just so dang welcoming. When you wink, the Void the Void winks back, you know? Can't argue with it about who falls in. It was to implant memories of you being wrong to begin with. That's the most terrifying part about memories. I would never trust a memory. Oh! We got 2 skill points. That's something. It's enhanced bullet deflect. Breaking mouse news? Scientists have found the bad squeak spray. Oh no. To bleach her fur white, so to not only be compatible with hyenas. To not be compatible with hyenas. Recent loss of Serene has us all in shock. Alas, many who have witnessed the incident claim to have been hearing muffled laughter in dark, empty rooms, claiming to have been handed truths that were hard to cope with, but suddenly turned out real. That's the worst kind of truths. The inconvenient ones that are suddenly true. Time to unbreak some news? I'll show you. That news will never break me. Also, we do, unfortunately have to go to break right now. Since the unbreaker of all novelty. I will be back in just a few minutes, I promise. And then we'll go see what that door is all about. And also, what horrible thing is happening to Drummer. See you soon.